him with the kunya Abu Hafs. And therefore Umar ibn al-Khattab is Abu Hafs. Abu Hafs. He didn't have a Hafs, he had a Hafsa. But he changed it to Hafs. Right, Ya Aba Hafs. Ya Aba Hafs. Will the face of the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ be struck with a sword? Will the face of the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ be struck with a sword? How is this possible? And Umar ibn al-Khattab, now he got the point that you need to stop this. Umar ibn al-Khattab said, Ya Rasulullah, he has committed nifaq. Meaning, who is this? Who is he talking about? Abu Hudayfa. He has committed nifaq. Let me, Umar style, right? This is Umar style, huh? Let me do what I would do, huh? Take care of it, right? And the Prophet ﷺ forbade him from doing that. But Umar basically went to Abu Hudayfa and made sure that Abu Hudayfa was put into place. And Abu Hudayfa then said that he used to say that I shall never feel safe against the consequences of that one sentence. I shall never feel safe unless Allah accepts me as a shaheed. That I made a big mistake. And I'm always going to be worried about it unless Allah accepts me as a shaheed. And Abu Hudayfa, his dua was accepted, and he died a shaheed in the battle of Yamama, which is again against the Murtads, against the battle of Ridda. Battle of Yamama, he died a shaheed over there. Now, a number of points here. Firstly, even the greatest of the Sahaba, they are human and they can fall into an error. Therefore, if one of us makes a mistake, have heart that people far better than you fell into far bigger mistakes than you. Imagine somebody saying this. Imagine somebody saying, I will kill the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ, and he's on the side of the Prophet ﷺ. Can you imagine how guilty he felt? Right? Imagine he fell into an error, and he realized his error, and Allah forgave him. So those who make mistakes, we all make mistakes, and people better than us have made far bigger mistakes than us. But they turned around, they repented, and Allah repented on them. Secondly, notice the wisdom of the Prophet ﷺ, that he handled it in a very wise manner. He expressed his frustration to Umar. He didn't directly go to him, because that would have been too humiliating, this is very, now imagine now Abu Hudayfa would have just wished that the earth swallows him up, right? So he goes to Umar, he knows what Umar is going to do, and that is to put him in his place, right? And he expresses his frustration, then behind the scenes Umar goes and puts Abu Hudayfa in place, right? Again, look at the wisdom of the process, that he realizes this is an emotional thing, he shouldn't punish, he shouldn't do anything because this is an emotion. He excused him basically for what has happened to his own father and uncle and brother right now, right? Literally, he's just lost all three an hour ago, right? Literally. So the Prophet ﷺ is irritated that this is happening, but he doesn't do any repercussions. There are no repercussions. There's no consequences because one's emotional state is overlooked here, and therefore he tells Umar to deal with it, and Umar indeed deals with it. And also, by the way, so after the battle was finished, and all of the bodies are going to be basically thrown into the well, we'll talk about that next Wednesday. So when the body of Utbah, which is his father, is now being dragged to be thrown into the well, Abu Hudayfa, his face became very pale, and you could see the effects of grief on him. Now notice here, subhanAllah, the Prophet ﷺ has just heard Abu Hudayfa say this about his uncle, but now the matter is over. So the Prophet ﷺ goes up to him, and this is the way of reconciling now. Right? This is the true leader now. That he's now showing him that, look, I understand, let's not keep this, ignore this now, let's move on. And he goes to him and he consoles him, and he says, perhaps you feel hurt at what you see. Now they're seeing his father being dragged, literally, because there are too many bodies. You're not going to show the honor you will to that enemy that you will to the Muslims, right? The Muslims got their own burial, they were dug graves. The Quraysh, the pagans, they just were thrown into a well, and the well was covered up, right? We're going to talk about that next one day. So they're seeing the body being dragged. The Prophet ﷺ, and this man has just, Abu Hudayfa, radiallahu anhu, has just threatened his uncle. But this is now forgotten. Khalas, bismillah, let's move on. So he tells him, لَعَلَّكَ تَجِدْ, perhaps you find this, difficult to see this. And Abu Hudayfa says, Ya Rasulullah, I have no doubt that my father died on kufr. I'm not feeling sympathy for his kufr, but I knew from my father wisdom and love and great care. After all, he's a father, right? And frankly, Utbah was one of the better of the Quraysh. He was of those who gifted the grapes, right? Utbah was the one who gifted the grapes in Ta'if. So I knew from my father wisdom and siyada, yani leadership and nobility. He was a good person, and because of this I had hoped that Allah Azza wa Jal will guide him to Islam. But when I saw what has happened to him and realized that he died in kufr, then this has grieved me that he died in the state of kufr. And so the Prophet ﷺ made dua for Abu Hudhayfa and asked Allah Azza wa Jalla to bless Abu Hudhayfa. And this shows us again that the true leader that the Prophet ﷺ was, that this incident happened a few hours ago. Now this is his way of showing Abu Hudhayfa that, look, I don't hold any grudge against you. Okay, you made a mistake, it was emotional, I realized that. And he comes and he consoles him basically, and in his own way. He consoles him about the death of his father, Utbah. I guess we only have a few minutes left. So one of the stories we'll do is Abu al-Bukhtari. It's also said Abu al-Bakhtari, both of these names are mentioned. Abu al-Bukhtari ibn Hashim, the one that was forbidden from being killed, he ended up being killed. And his story was that one of the Ansar, al-Mujdir ibn Ziyad, when he saw Abu al-Bukhtari, he said to him, Ya Abu al-Bukhtari, we have been forbidden from harming you. We have been forbidden from harming you, so surrender yourself and I will take you back to the camp. Surrender yourself and I'll take you back. So Abu al-Bukhtari said, how about my friend? They were together fighting. How about my friend? So the man said, we don't have any laws about him, where he's going to be fought. And that's not, my business is I'm not allowed to harm you. And so Abu al-Bukhtari said, no. Let not the women of Quraysh say that I saved myself at the expense of my friend. Let me not die a death that I will be, or let me not live a death that I will be mocked because of my cowardice. Right? And so he then charged, and when he charged, the Sahaba had to defend back, and the same Sahabi who killed him, he came to the Prophet and he said, Ya Rasulullah, I tried my best to take him prisoner, like you said, but he refused except to fight, and so I had to kill him. So he was excused for this. He was excused for this. And inshallah, we'll stop over here because the next bit is a bit long, and so we'll leave that for next Wednesday, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Before I open the floor for questions, just point out that the ACO meeting is taking place next Sunday at what time? 6 p.m., right? 6 or 7 p.m. Or is the representative here? Sister Sahra, is she here? Not here? There's a poster out there. I was told to remind all of you, and it's a very necessary thing to know about what is going on, and especially locally here in Tennessee, the people that are running for office and what we have to do to help out. And it's a bit of a fundraiser for this organization that alhamdulillah has proven to be very effective in the anti-Sharia campaign in Tennessee. We have seen what they have done. So I will be there. We have a state senator coming as well. One of the senators, state senators of Tennessee is coming as well. We have Sister Ramziya, who's the lawyer and the activist from Nashville, coming down. This is next Sunday. So inshallah ta'ala, I encourage all of you to purchase a ticket and to go there and to support them and see what they're doing. The other announcement is that inshallah ta'ala, from next Tuesday, and you'll get an email about this, from next Tuesday we will be starting our advanced class from 7:30 to 8:30. From 7:30 to 8:30 we'll be starting our advanced class. And the topic has been changed because of a number of issues. So we'll be talking about the creation of Adam alayhi salam and the benefits from the creation of Adam. And this is a multi-series, a number of different tangents about the benefits from the creation of Adam alayhi salam. This will be starting inshaAllah ta'ala next Tuesday, and we'll send an email out for everybody. And unlike this class, that class will have some rules, and there will also going to be some payment. That have you decided how much, or are you going to decide it? Okay, so 20 per person, 30 for family. This is a registration fee, and it will last basically until the Christmas break, inshallah. It will last until the Christmas break, around the 20th or something, whenever, or a little more 15th of December, something like that. So it will last around 5-6 weeks. With 1 week break, I won't be here, but basically that will be lasting there. So that's next Tuesday. The other announcement, what else? There was something else.
We're also going to have the November is coming, and November means Thanksgiving. So we're just having a Thanksgiving dinner with hot song, inshallah, on November 15th. The ticket sale will do the solid ticket sale on Monday.
So November 15th at the Heart Song.
start selling the ticket on Friday. First come, first served. It's a limited thing.
Okay, November 15th, and the tickets will be sold on Friday. And one more very... Yes? Oh yes, of course. So we are also raising funds that we're going to give to Islamic Relief for Hurricane Sandy and the victims of Hurricane Sandy. As you know, it's caused quite a lot of damage. 50 people have been killed, and we are trying to show our help and support as well. And there are boxes there outside, and we've contacted Islamic Relief. They have set up their booths, and they're distributing food and clothes, and they're distributing necessary items for the victims. And so this is a great cause for us to help out Islamic Relief, and that is outside. And yes, that's the next announcement I was going to do. A lot of announcements today, mashallah. Very tasty and spicy announcement. The Mulan Bistro, we have been so successful with them that they are now, alhamdulillah, fully halal. Alhamdulillah. Now what this means is that you guys are going to have to eat out quite a lot. Why? Because we need to support them. Right? You have to request, they have a halal menu. They have a halal menu, so when you go there now, you just say you want the halal food. And apparently, according to our trusted authority, Asif, if you request any item, they will make it for you halal, even if it's not on the halal menu, if you request it beforehand. Oh, but apparently, for some reason, I don't know why, they can't do pork halal. So, I don't know, I mean, it's just one of those, you're just gonna have to accept it, But every other item on the menu, they can make it halal for you, if you request them. But anytime you walk in, they have a halal menu, right? There's a sign, there's a special halal menu, and if you want any of the other dishes, then you request it in advance. Inshallah, I'm not supposed to tell you this, so I'm just going to be generic here. Inshallah, make dua. The same good news will be said of another restaurant soon. Inshallah, inshallah. We're working on this. But again, what this means is that we need to help and support, these services, because again, if we don't, the success of one has basically led to this, and this was wallahi the actual goal of Zabiha Night. This was the goal of Zabiha Night, that our Islamic presence, now we need to start making people aware, and businesses and others, and then inshallah slowly but surely we'll have halal meat available in many supermarkets and groceries. That's the goal, inshallah, is that make our presence known and facilitate our living in this land, inshallah ta'ala. Yes, another announcement, go ahead.
Just compliment, the listeners forget that the actual Muslim-owned businesses and the royalties.
Yes, of course, it goes without saying that there are a handful of Muslim businesses. We wish there were much more. There's only a handful of halal businesses. We definitely need to support them as well in their efforts, and they've been doing this much longer than these other companies. So, alhamdulillah, one of the few halal entertainments we have over here is to take the family out for a meal. And so, inshallah,